Catherine from Weight Loss for Goddesses. This is my first Facebook Live, so I know it's just streaming to you guys in the Weight Loss for Goddesses Facebook group, and if no one's on, that's fine, but I'm just going to chat. If you are on, that's great. Say hi. I don't know if I'll be able to read your comment or figure out what's going on, but feel free to say hi. So welcome, hooray! Today is the first day of the Love Yourself, Lose the Weight Challenge. So I am really excited to have you here. I am going to be posting in the Facebook group at around noon for the next 5 days. If you can make it live, that's fantastic. If you can't, that's fine. It'll show up on the feed. And if you can, I'll send it to you by email. If you're on my email list, and if you didn't get to see it in the Facebook group. Anyway, so that's the plan. Be here noon for the next 5 days, and we're gonna have an awesome time. So, self-love. I was thinking of why I came up with this topic, and part of it was I was at a conference recently and people were talking about weight loss and sustained weight loss, and someone said, well, you can't lose the weight from a place of hate, you know, and we all kind of chuckled, but I thought it really is true. You can't sustain that weight loss. You know, all that idea of feeling that self-loathing, or that, hey, Julie, exciting, Facebook Live. Feeling all that self-loathing or anger or disgust, all of those things that in so many ways people lose the weight, that's what they use to motivate themselves. So instead of doing that, to come from a place of self-love, and part of why the UPS truck might be here. Part of why I ended up having to fall in love with my body, even though it wasn't an ideal body, is pregnancy, which I'm sure many women have dealt with. That I gained 70 pounds with both pregnancies, and it was like I was in someone else's body, and all of the things I'd learned in my life. I had parents who were very into dieting and very into people being a certain weight. So I remember that first time I had pulled up my leg on the bed, and I looked at it, and it was this huge, like it was so much bigger than it used to be, because I was also swollen, and I was like, that is my leg. And I felt kind of repelled. I felt horrified, like what had happened to me? This was my leg. And then I thought, uh-oh, I can't do that, because I got to be in this body, and this body is making a baby, and so I've got to love it anyway. So I went through this, you know, I just would say, I love that leg. I love you. Thank you for carrying me around. Thank you for helping me grow my baby. And I just tried not to judge. And part of the gift that I've had in my life is being a labor and delivery nurse and seeing women in all these phases of giving birth, and their bodies are not what you see in the media. Whether in the media pregnant or not, they do not look like that, because we don't look like that. It's not real. And that was really, hey, Marika, how are you? And that was really easy to see, because every single day I was dealing with people who were big and who, like, you know, could barely move, and, you know, weren't this slender ideal, but they were gorgeous. You know, they were beyond gorgeous. And just to realize that the human body, the female body, is not made to be a certain way. It's not made to be whatever that ideal is. It's so absurd that we see in the media. It's actually made to be like this and make babies. You know, it has a much bigger job than just appearing a certain way. And so that got really drilled into me with my job, which I think has been such a blessing, because now when I see imperfections, and as we all age, and as we all, you know, I've had illnesses and injuries, and it's so wonderful to be able to love ourselves even though we're not perfect, because nobody's going to be perfect. And so part of why this is the foundation of Weight Loss for Goddesses is that self-love, is because in Weight Loss for Goddesses, or any weight loss program where you're really dealing with what's causing the weight gain, is you're dealing with using weight as protection, you know, using weight as a way to kind of keep people away. You're using food as a medicine, as an unprescribed, and probably not, you know, like you're using food to numb yourself. You're using food to distract yourself from what your body is telling you, or from what's coming up emotionally. And also that we're addicted, a lot of us. We're addicted to certain foods that are actually poison for us. You know, that the foods I have been addicted to are the kryptonite for me. They're the ones that make me feel hideous. But part of the addiction is you keep reaching for them. So we're dealing with big things. You know, we're dealing with addiction, and dealing with taking away the crutches and the things we've used to cope with pain and anguish and suffering. So of course we need to be gentle with ourselves, and starting from a place of self-love is the best way to do it. So yay! So that's why we're here today. So we're going to be here 5 days. It's going to be great. Like I said, I'll be here around noon each one of those days if you want to join me in the live stream. And like I said too, it'll be in the feed. If you missed that part, it'll come up in the feed, so you'll see it, and I'll pin it so it'll be up there for you. But so today I just want to get you thinking about self-love. You know, and we have 60,000 thoughts that go through our brain every day, which I think is about 40 a minute. So that's a lot. Maybe it was 40 a second. It was something insane. So we're having all those thoughts go through our head, and most of them, sadly, for most people, probably not us, you marvelous weight loss for goddesses women, but most of them are negative. I'll see you later. Yes, dear. Bye. Most of those thoughts are negative, which is really sad, you know, if you think about it. And that is because for protection, you know, that our unconscious is trying to protect us and keep us out of danger. So it's not necessarily a flaw in us, but there is something we can do to counter that, and that is to promote these self-love practices. So it's the tips I'm going to give you today are very practical. They might feel a little silly. You might want to avoid them. They might make you squirm, but will you please do them, and then we can talk about them. Even when you're watching this in the replay, you can say something in the comments, and I can respond, and we can have a conversation about this, because 2 homework assignments for today. One is to write on a Post-it, or in your phone. Post-it's probably kind of old-fashioned, but just write on a Post-it, "You are beautiful," and post it somewhere you'll see every morning. And then also write on another Post-it, you need 2 Post-its for this, is "I love you," and put that somewhere you see it. So it could be right in your bathroom mirror, it could be where you get up on your bureau, it could be in your car. You know, modern day people could actually put it in their phone just so it kind of pops up. I have a reminder that comes up that reminds me to do certain things, and I'm just going to put an affirmation, I haven't done it yet, that just says "I love you," just to remind me to stop and think "I love you." And this is going to follow on the other thing I'm going to have you do, Nat, which is the mirror self-love exercise. And when I was looking into teaching this, I was, Googling all these different things about self-love. I had my own practices I'd done, and it was so interesting how often I came up with this mirror practice. So I did it, and it was kind of crazy. You know, people really find a huge transformation in how they feel about themselves doing this. So what it is you, they say lock the door, get quiet, just be somewhere you won't be interrupted, especially if you have teenagers who will really be horrified and make fun of you. But close the door, look in the mirror, get in really close, and just say "I love you" while you're looking at yourself, while you're looking into your own eyes. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You are so strong. I am so impressed by everything that you do every day. You are so loving. Your body is so powerful. You get the idea. So you're going to be doing that every day, 2 minutes minimum. I know it's a long time. I know you've got a lot to do. But if you can, in the short time I've been doing it, the last few weeks, it really has shifted things. It's kind of amazing. And that's what, if you read about it online, a lot of people say like, wow, that, out of everything they do, this is a really big one. So if you can do that, that would be amazing. And extra credit if you do it for longer. Extra credit if you do it naked. Going in and out of the shower, something like that. And I want you to tell me how it goes. Tell me what you think. Tell me how it feels. And you can do it in the comments here. If you are not on Facebook, if you're getting this by email, you can send me a reply. But I want to hear how it makes you feel, what comes up. And if we're going to have some tools later on in the challenge to deal with resistance, because sometimes, that comes up if you're saying things you don't necessarily believe. And we'll deal with that later. But for now, if you feel like, when you say "I love you," you feel feelings aren't like, "Yay, I love you." Just notice them and breathe. So just take a few minutes, breathe, see how it feels, and then say it again. And that's going to be, so that's the homework for today. 2 minutes looking into the mirror, saying "I love you," and other loving, positive things about you and your body and how amazing you are. Even if you feel like you're faking it. it still works. So do that. And number 2 is the Post-its up, just to kind of remind yourself. And then in general, just to that whole idea of those 60,000 thoughts a day, that to try and just have, 10 of those be positive. Just try and kind of push back a little bit what might be, if you forget, I just left my keys in the ignition at the Frisbee game and ran out of battery, and I, instead of saying like, oh, give me a break, because that's what everyone else was saying, I was like, you are fucking awesome. I'm sorry. You are sat here, you did all these things, so you have the keys in the car. You were trying to not have your child boil in the car. Carry on. So whatever you can do to kind of defend yourself against your negative comments and say, I'm awesome, I'm doing the best I can, and good for me, dang it. Do that. So hope those are fun. And if you have a lot of resistance to those, email me and we can chat about that. So hope you guys are great, and welcome to the first day of the challenge. Looking forward to the rest of it. Again, any comments down below would be great, and reply to me in the emails. Do your homework. Can't wait to hear how it goes, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, all right. Bye, guys. Woo!